you've been injured, don't settle for a lawyer who doesn't even know where you live. Call Langston and Lott. Local lawyers, personal service, real results.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome in, as always, to Mississippi Live Weather This Morning. Thanks, as always, for tuning in with us. I'm meteorologist Maggye McCauley. I'm going to make sure I have this turned over to the chat. I always like to see what you guys are saying in the morning, especially when it comes to this winter system. I love to see if y'all are team snow or no snow, or team winter system or no weather system. Let us know in the chat over there. But good morning to everybody. Thanks, as always, again, for tuning on to Mississippi Live Weather and starting off your day with us. I hope you have your cup of coffee and you're ready to go out the door this morning. Beautiful sunrise is ongoing. You can see here lots of beautiful conditions out there, beautiful colors over in our Tupelo camera, sponsored by Mitchell Cunningham Bowling. Even though it looks really nice outside, temperatures are not matching those nice conditions, right? 19 in Tupelo, feeling more like 13 out there. So definitely chilly over in Tupelo. Same story. Take a look over in Batesville, Mississippi. You can see some steam coming off of one of those buildings there, but beautiful ongoing conditions there as well. Lots of blue skies out there over in Panola County. Temperatures there, 19 as well. So just downright cold across the area this morning, across North Mississippi. We are seeing overall chilly conditions, not only for us, but across the region as well. I'm going to set my coffee cup down so I can point and everything. But here's a look at temperatures across the region. Chilly. So no matter where you're waking up with this, no matter if you're even traveling down south today, it's just downright cold, at least this morning. 12 in Jackson, Tennessee, 23 in Memphis, 24 over in Little Rock, 19 in Tupelo, 25 down in Starkville, even down to our south. Look at that, Hattiesburg, 30, 32 in Mobile, 41 in Destin. So yeah, that cold air is still making it all the way to the coast this morning. Just very chilly conditions across the board out there right now. Let's take a little bit closer to home. Let me show you some specifics, because some of us are waking up in the teens this morning. 19 in Oxford, 19 in Tupelo, 18 up in Corinth. 15, our coldest spot in the map over in Marshall County, Holly Springs, 15 this morning. A lot of us in the 20s, 21 in Houston, 23 Eupora, 31, our warmest spot down in Macon. Overall, what you need to know this morning is you still need the coat out the door, okay? It's still cold out there. Here's a look at your first 12 hours ahead. Temperatures will be in the middle 20s if you're not already there, going into the next hour ahead, into the upper 30s by 11. And today, a lot like yesterday, we're going to top off yet again in the 40s for majority of the area, middle 40s into your afternoon. Lots of sunshine in the forecast today, so that's some good news. And then we'll see temperatures drop back off as we head 5 o'clock and on, eventually back into the 30s as we head 8 o'clock and on. So definitely a cold forecast out there for today, and sitting below average for this time of year. We should be low 50s. We're about middle 40s, so about 5 degrees or so less than where we should be for this time of year. Here's an overall look at satellite and radar, more of a regional wide view out there this morning. Quiet conditions out there for your Tuesday, and we're thankful for them because we know that things are about to pick up here in the weather department, don't we? But quiet conditions across the southeast for now out here on your Tuesday morning. High pressure in place, and that's going to keep, again, a lot of sunshine in the forecast for your day ahead. I'm going to take you hour by hour over the next few days, or really day by day in this viewpoint, so you can see the overall systems that do swing in. This is today going into your afternoon. Again, good to go with any of those plans this afternoon. Lots of sunshine in the forecast. As we head later on in the evening, we'll start to see cloud cover build up overnight. And then this is a look at Wednesday morning as you're headed out the door tomorrow morning. We're looking at rain in the forecast, and we have to get through this system before we get through the next one, right? So rain in the forecast out there for your Wednesday, just rain as well. Showers looking likely as you're waking up on your Wednesday morning, getting back to work or school, mainly sitting across the Mississippi River into places like Arkansas, Texas, down in Louisiana as well. We'll see these showers shift into the areas we had noon and on, and likely as we head into your afternoon as well. Not looking at anything severe out there for your Wednesday, but we are looking at maybe a few heavier pockets moving through into your afternoon and evening. So definitely want to keep the rain gear handy in the back half of your day tomorrow. We'll see this front kind of stick around just to our south going into your Thursday as well. So yes, a few showers likely into your Thursday morning, mainly in areas south of 82 in our southern counties, looking likely throughout the day. Just some scattered shower to isolated shower chances sticking around for your Thursday. Not too impactful, especially in comparison to the rainfall on your Wednesday. And then we get geared up and ready for whatever this is, right? Our next system on the way, winter system, looking more and more likely as we get day in and day out. We're seeing our models staying pretty consistent on the potential for this coming into play as we had Friday all the way throughout your weekend. There are still a lot of question marks with this, but likely that we see some type of winter precip across North Mississippi as we head over into your weekend. Now, here's a look I want to just note to you. We have been 6 to 10 or 6 to 8, 6 to 10, whatever you want to say, days out. This is our winter forecast timeline. What we do with that is we are just paying attention. We're looking at the overall patterns for a potential system coming into play. This is where we have been, but we've been pretty consistent in showing you what things look like 6 to 10 days out. We usually don't do that, but models have been pretty consistent. Now, though, we are 4 to 5 days out. So we look for more consistency in our models. We look if they are continuing to stay consistent. We're seeing if confidence increases or decreases. Does the setup make sense? Are the overall questions we're going to be watching for. And I will say I was talking to my dad yesterday about this that's going to be happening this weekend. My parents live in Arkansas, and they were asking me, they're like, well, it's multiple days out, Maggie. Are we sure? And I was telling them the setup makes sense. I was answering this question for them. It's a typical winter weather setup that we see here in the South. It's making sense. Our confidence levels are increasing. Our models are lining up. So I was telling them that. I'll tell you all that as well. So we're looking for consistency, and it's been there. The next thing we're going to be watching for is this continues to get further in. It's preparing a forecast. So I encourage you to keep checking up with us as we head over the next few days. We do have a forecast together, right? We have our overall chances of this. We have our temperature forecast as well. But the thing we're still kind of honing in on is that precipitation type. Where does that axis sit that's going to be snow versus that mixed precipitation versus freezing rain to just plain rain? That's what we're going to be looking at with models as they continue to come in over the next few days. Timing of that, locations that will see that, and overall your different totals as well. So those are things we're going to be looking for over the next few days that I just encourage you to stay patient with us. We want to bring you good and accurate information, and that takes time and days of seeing the different models that come in. So coming up next, though, we'll talk about what models are looking like this morning. Of course, we'll use the Mississippi Live Snow Finder and Ice Finders to see overall what they're saying this morning. So coming up next, you'll see all of those details and, of course, a full look at your 7-day forecast as well.
Some people judge a book by its cover, and if you're not what people are looking for, you're kind of like a reject.
School, it feels like everyone's staring at me, and I'm just kind of not really a person.
It just feels hard today. Nobody was listening to me.
And I'll try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at soundidouttogether.org.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Maggye McCauley.
Hey, welcome back into Mississippi Live Weather this morning. The time now is 7:11 out here on your Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Maggye McCauley. Again, thanks as always for sticking in with us and tuning in with us. We're live from the Room to Room Weather Center. We have a lot to talk about, don't we? So let's start with this morning. What's ongoing right now? lots of blue skies out there and quiet conditions. So enjoy it while we have it, right? Temperatures in the low 20s out there over in Aberdeen, just downright cold everywhere you are. So as you're waking up this morning, make sure to grab the coat as you're headed out the door. Here's a nice look over in Oktibbeha County, Starkville, Mississippi. Beautiful ongoing sky conditions there as well, but temperatures just cold, chilly, middle 20s out there over in Starkville. So definitely chilly out there. Here's a look at your airport delays this morning. Not tracking a whole lot of delays out there other than the Chicago airport, about a moderate delay. Everywhere else looking good to go. Here's a look at your day planner ahead, sticking here in North Mississippi. 30 at 9 a.m., middle 30s at 10, and then upper 30s by your 11 o'clock hour. So sitting in the 30s for a good portion of your morning hours. So definitely chilly out there as you are headed out and about. Even if you're not getting out over the next few hours, still cold in the 30s all the way through your 11 o'clock hour. Lots of sunshine in the forecast, so that is some good news. Overall temperatures for your Tuesday in the 40s for the most part. Most of it's going to be topping off somewhere in the 40s today. 45 New Albany, 45 over in Oxford, 49 Eupora, some 50s out there from Belzona, Greenwood down into Kosciuszko, Atala County in the 50s. But a majority of us in the 40s today, a lot like yesterday, still chilly into your afternoon and sitting below average for this time of year. Let's take it hour by hour. I want to take you all the way through your Wednesday, and then we'll get into your weekend forecast, okay? So we got rain to get through on Wednesday before we get into the weekend, right? So let me get you through that system first. This is this afternoon, looking but nothing like clear skies and sunshine out there all the way through your evening hours. So you're good to go if you got any plans on your Tuesday. Wednesday's a different story. We're looking at rain starting in the morning hours, cloud cover looking to build in throughout your morning. I think a lot of us are going to be getting in on your morning commute good to go with no rainfall likely. However, if you're closer to the Mississippi River, the Delta, up into Tunica County, Northwest Mississippi, yeah, you could see a few showers early in the morning, but a majority of us stay dry for that morning commute. Not the same story for your evening commute, though. Watch as I head noon and on out there on your Wednesday. Rainfall really looking to build in around lunchtime, so any lunchtime plans, showers looking to be across the area. This continues, again, into your evening hours. Not looking at anything severe with this, but could see a few heavier pockets move through as well, all the way throughout your Wednesday evening. So, yeah, showers looking likely even into your dinner time hours as well out there for your Wednesday. These will continue into the overnight hours as well. So even any late evening plans on your Wednesday, looking at rain sticking around. Going into Thursday, we're keeping a rain chance on here because look at these showers continuing mainly in areas south of 82 out there on your Thursday. Some isolated chances kind of staying consistent throughout your day ahead. So that's what we're going to be looking like on your Thursday. Overall, even into your evening hours, could see a few light showers really just trying to hang around. As for temperatures tomorrow, ranging in the 40s and 50s depending on where you are for your Wednesday afternoon. 46 New Albany, 46 in Oxford. Further south that you go, 50s though show up. 51 Houston, 52 Eupora, 55 down in Atala County and Kosciuszko. High temperatures over the next few days. I need to adjust this because our temperatures just straight fall off into your weekend. But near 50 into your Thursday, 44 on your Friday. Weekend forecast is below 35. We're looking at temperatures near 30 on both days. Downright cold conditions into your weekend. And then we're looking at that all-important weekend forecast. So here's a look. Wintry mix, beginning from possible to more along the lines of likely now. So we're continuing to look at these different models that come in pretty consistent on some type of winter precip going over into your weekend Friday, into your weekend forecast. Again, I've been talking about this all morning, but the main thing we're going to be watching for is where this axis, where this line does set up between snow versus that mixed precipitation, freezing rain to just plain rain. We're going to be watching where models are going to be staying consistent in that over the next coming days. As we go into your Friday, this looks to creep in the forecast later in the day on Friday and then into the weekend. Right now, models really looking to put that snowfall mainly to our north, but also clipping a lot of our northern counties as well. And then as we had really Panola County, Lee County, and south looking more of a mixed go of things. But again, we're going to be continuing to watch where models are staying consistent with this overall axis of freezing rain, mixed precipitation into that snow. let's go ahead and bring in our chief meteorologist, Matt Wapon. He is coming in with me. I would love to know his thoughts on this as well. Matt, I've been looking at models this morning. I'm going to make sure I have you turned up so I can hear you as well. But any thoughts about this from yesterday into today, the last few days?
Can you hear me okay first?
What did you say? Go ahead.
Okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'll show you, and I'll see if I can keep your audio up when I kind of switch over to this. The thing that kind of gets me is it's just the consistency on this, right? Let's see here. I'm going to make sure I can pop up the right thing behind the scenes. So this should be Chroma browser. There we go. So it's the consistency of this, right? And I'm gonna get your microphone up there. Maggie, you should be there. So can you hear can you hear yourself? Yep. Okay.
Yes, and I see that the mic is green.
Yeah. So. Okay, good. So I mean, so you're looking at the same, kind of ensemble data I'm at here, and I hate winter forecasting more than like 3 days out. But I mean, I think you'd agree. Looking at so this is the GFS, and this is one model, but it's the ensemble. So that we change the initial conditions just a little bit and run it over and over again. And they're pretty consistent. I mean, find one here, and this is looking for, late Saturday, and there are chances obviously extending into Friday and then going through Saturday with this. But I mean, try to find one of these that doesn't have something wintry over top of us. Now, what wintry is a completely different question. And then I have one there that's all rain, one that's a little more thunder. But you do also see that little nose of like green coming northward, showing the warm air intruding northward. That does kind of break down some of the all snow dreams potentially for a few folks. But I think you would agree, just kind of looking at this particular projection, I can go, back 24 hours. And I would say even your greenest one at that point, let's just take, what is that, number 8 there? At some point there, mainly rain, but then it eventually kind of fights its way to a little bit of a mix even in that one there. But our warmest potential one still has at least some kind of wintry mix at some point there between, say, late Friday and into Sunday, or that last wave that then comes into Monday. So I think for me, the thing that's kind of hard to get past is that it seems like almost every one of our projections has, I apologize, I can't be on links same time as you're on links on that there, so I think that's what's messing with that.
Sorry.
But anyway, that's okay. I think the thing that but I can't just put a nice camera behind me, so that's what I'm going to do. Look, beautiful camera in Batesville. Just the fact that there's at least one model projection on every one of the, at least the time period there on every one of the ensemble projections from GFS, and that's a microcosm of, I think, the confidence models have in it should be cold enough for most locations. We should have moisture, and it's reasonable at some point it lines up. From an impact standpoint, travel disruptions just seem like a slam dunk, right? Like it seems very, very likely there will be travel disruptions, but amounts and where and yada, 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 that still I think is very much up for debate.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I was saying earlier in this broadcast, we were talking about the winter forecast timeline. Usually we would not talk about these things 7 days out. Absolutely not. But one, we do have the time. But secondly, things have been pretty consistent from the get-go. Like our long-range models have been consistent with this from the start of things a week out. So it's like, well, we need to talk about this because we want to give folks the first heads up, right? So I think what we're looking at now is consistency. Does the setup make sense? But also going over the next few days is what I was talking about is we'll be putting that forecast together of timing, amounts, the precip types, as we do get models, again, becoming more consistent, coming together, and then, of course, short-range models in here as well. So I think it's likely to see disruptions. I think people need to be preparing for their weekend for sure.
Absolutely. And you say the word ice, and I get it. There's been some ice history. And that's absolutely on the table. But I would say don't yet grab a hold of, nobody knows. No projection, no hype site on the internet knows exactly what's going to happen. It's just, it's so consistent that we should be cold enough from many locations that at least at the surface it's something that's not rainfall. But there will be more. That's one thing that I cannot ignore, and I'm going to go back to this graphic again, and then I'm going to pop your audio back up. So give me a moment to do that. Audio back up. So yeah, I'll let you get it. Okay. This little nose that you see there, and I'll go back, that has that warmth, right? That little arch you see there, that little area where there's a little more green. You can even see it in some of the colder models there. That's warm, moist air coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. That nose of warm air aloft almost always ends fluffy snow dreams. Does it this time? It very possibly could. So fluffy snow dreams, if that's what you have, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very much possible. But if you're looking for something to blame or go, try not to get those hopes up too high, that's what it is. The thing is that warm air aloft that melts beautiful snowflakes changes it either into sleet or rain, and by the time it gets to the surface and it's colder at the surface, it refreezes into something else. So is snow a possibility? Absolutely. Fluffy snow is great possibility still. But ice and potentially rainfall also are on the table because of that warm nose that shows up on every one of these, almost every one of these projections. You see that little kind of hill in the green that shows up there. So Maggie, that's really the concern on this, is that it is probable that we are going to have some warm air that messes up a beautiful dream. But that's why, again, the threats and in particular the impacts you're showing here are just so important.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's important to know like the confidence level of everything we're going to be looking at. And I know everybody wants snow and just snow, but I just don't think that's going to be likely here across the area, especially region-wide. Of course, the further north you are, the more likely you are of seeing that fluffy white snow. But I think reality is the further south you are, the more likely you're seeing some type of mixed precipitation, especially with that warm air aloft. And so that's different impacts too. So that's what we'll be talking about going over the next few days, depending on your where your location is. We're going to be talking about your particular impacts and also the confidence level that we're going to have with that. So accumulation snowfall, very possible, about a level 2. Same story with ice accumulations, but it's just where that axis is going to, here's that setup going to be overall in North Mississippi. That's what we're going to be looking at over the next few days. And of course, a level 3 or highest risk for travel impacts are likely from this as we head later in the day on Friday.
No, sorry. I thought I hit the right.
No, it's okay. I know you're trying to pull up, but level 3, again, travel impacts pretty likely as we head Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I know folks have already been texting me, and I just encourage you, if you have any plans Friday afternoon and on, just know where you're going to be, because if you do get on the icy side of things, that is not fun travel at all. You're not going to want to do that if you do not have to. So overall, that's our threats that we're going to be looking for. I encourage you to get the app. You can scan this for iOS or Android over there. You're going to want the app. We are updating it day to day. If you don't get in on one of our live shows, again, you can have our forecast right there in your pocket. Also, we're going to continue to update, and you can watch us from anywhere that you are if you do plan on traveling over the coming days. And we're going to continue again to hone in on that forecast. So I encourage you, download that app, download it, have it. It's free, and we'll continue to send you the latest updates as we get closer to this. But hey, Matt, any final thoughts, anything else you want to say before we wrap things up and reset for the 7:30?
Yeah, I mean, obviously 7:30, and as we go through this, there's going to be better and better information as we get closer here. Maggie, you're doing a great job again conveying what I think is most important at this point. Everyone wants to know how much snow, and dare I say that's, again, the wrong question. The wrong question is, what does my weekend look like? And starting Friday through Sunday, we should be planning for travel disruptions, hoping that that's not the case, but planning for them at this point here, understanding that a lot of times things and precipitation type and all that stuff changes and will change. And so I'm going to be saying, Maggie's going to be saying something different at 6 p.m. tonight. But one thing, I'll be saying something different at 6 p.m. Gabe will be saying something at 10 p.m. But it's probable that we're going to have some kind of travel disruptions around the region. So be at least thinking about whatever events you're involved in. and a separate way in which that'll work, and then obviously preparing ahead in case those travel disruptions, power disruptions become an issue for you.
Yeah, right. And I don't think we need to get past the cold either, right? Because we're going to be seeing
No.
temperatures below freezing 48 hours plus going from late Friday night into your weekend. I mean, we're looking at our high temperatures.
And that's one of the things that then, extends some of the travel disruptions is just the fact that, you get below freezing and then you kind of stuck with whatever it is, whatever it falls, falls at that point, and does cause some issues probably in the first part of next week as well in some spots. I do think, I don't think this is too much of an extreme here. I think that some locations probably do have travel disruptions into next week. But of course, that's something we can discuss more at 7:30 here in just a second. I'll wrap up my portion of this so let you wrap up and we can kind of re-rack and go.
No, you're good. I'm going to show them a 7-day before we get out of here. But again, this is likely Friday and then into your weekend with impacts. Probable, likely. We were saying possible. Now we're saying probable. Right. So that confidence level has increased. I want to show you your 7-day forecast before I do let you go this morning, because we are seeing rain on your Wednesday before we get through into the weekend. So rain likely on the back half of Wednesday. Temperatures stay above freezing in the 40s and 50s all the way through Friday. But that cold air filters in. We're looking at temperatures dropping as that system moves in later on the day on Friday, continuing into Saturday, even continuing into a portion of your Sunday morning as well, with temperatures on Saturday and Sunday, both days, not getting above freezing. So very cold air, also something to not brush by Saturday and Sunday. Going into Monday, we're not looking at any precip likely, but still very cold conditions, with some of us likely to stay below freezing even on your Monday. So overall, that's a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, we will be live one more time this morning, coming up in the next few minutes. So make sure to tune in with us. Then we'll be breaking down again everything you need to know with this. Of course, we'll have another look at Wednesday and the rainfall amounts for that as well. And of course, you can tune in for the latest and the updates at 5, 6, and 10 from the Room to Room Weather Center.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. We knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy